So, hi and welcome to the Geek Stories. I'm with Dana Boyd.
Our children are locked indoors. We don't have public transit. We don't allow our kids out. They go from activity to activity from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. They're hyper-controlled. They're very regularly in spaces where they can just relax and chill. They are not allowed to leave the house because there's a fear that they will be abducted whenever they're out in the streets. Communities don't really exist in the way that they once did, especially as we've moved to sort of the modern-day new suburbia. MySpace has become the interstitial, and now Facebook as well, has become the interstitial spaces with which people can hang out when they're not allowed out of the house. And that's why they play a really interesting and unique role for young people. They are the public life. They are like the publics that you and I once saw. But they're publics that are so confused. And that doesn't mean that they want to deal with all audiences. Right? There are two audience groups that young people don't want anywhere near them. The first is those who hold power over them. Parents, teachers, law enforcement, anybody who can regulate their behavior, they don't want to be in the same space as them. And they spend a lot of time trying to make certain that those folks can go away. Right? The other group they don't want to be is those who are lecherous. And I know that there's an unbelievable amount of attention paid to sexual predators, even though the data pretty much shows that they're not really an issue. But what you're actually seeing in terms of lecherous activity are marketers, spammers, scammers, fishers. Right? So you spend all this time when you're trying so desperately to find a place where you can hang out with your friends, and you spend all this time trying to run away from these audiences that sort of want to have some sort of control over you. The first big coping mechanism is to create digital walls. Right? This is the attempt to make yourself unsearchable. Or every time people kind of find a way to make themselves unsearchable, to make themselves invisible, technology comes and says, oh, we're helping you out by making you really easy to be searched. What you find that privacy means, privacy is not nobody has access to your data. Privacy is you have control over who has access to your data in what circumstances. And inevitably, the two audiences you don't want having control over or access to your data are those who hold power over you and those who are lecherous. Right? Those are two audiences you're trying to keep out. In September of 2006, Facebook created a feature called the news feed, which anybody who's created a Facebook account recently just sort of takes as for granted, where it would literally update everything, right? Who's broken up with who, who's joined what groups, every detail about their lives the moment you logged in. And a lot of the college students were outraged. They didn't want all this detail put up and became that kind of visibility. It was a different rule of privacy. The material wasn't quite private, but it wasn't public in that kind of way. So they were frustrated. And what they did, which was really interesting, is that they gathered 700,000 college kids, right? 700,000 of them all joined a group to make a statement about why they objected to this. And they forced the company, within a matter of 72 hours, to implement privacy features that were not previously available. Right? That is astonishing. Right? This is about saying, hey, this is our space. This is a public that we care about. This is a public that we understand. And you, a creator who thinks you're going to make money off of us, you're not allowed to modify this without our permission. And we are going to say that this is unacceptable. And we'll reach a compromise. And the compromise will be privacy feature.